Hello and welcome. Today's presentation is going to be very important for all those who have diabetes and for the healthcare professionals who take care of them. I'm sure that you've all heard about the glucose monitors or the glucose sensors or continuous glucose monitoring systems. All these are names used to describe devices that check the blood sugar in real time at all times and that are used instead of having to suffer the pain of finger stick. And so they help us guide the treatment of diabetes. But the problem is that a lot of times for the patients and the healthcare professionals taking care of them, we can't get those results, we can't see them, we can't make use of them. So this presentation is going to address just that. This is going to be important for patients to see their results for themselves, be able to view the data and view the curves of their blood sugar in response to different activities and food. Also for the healthcare professionals, whether they are doctors or allied professionals taking care of them, that they can make sense and make use of these data and know how to receive them. It's going to be extremely important as well for all the medical assistants and nursing working for doctors and in doctors' offices so that they can get these results and make the clinic run much smoother with better results for the patient. I know that a lot of this is going to be information that feels like drinking water out of a fire hose. However, I'm going to say this. At the end of this presentation, I'm going to give the summary of what a patient would need to do in very simple steps in order to get the IT system or the IT support to help them with the download and getting the results to the doctor. And I will leave a link in the comment section to get to that part if you want to skip forward to it. But I encourage you, especially if you are a physician, an allied healthcare professional, or a medical assistant or somebody working for a doctor, to see this presentation in its entirety because it has a lot of important information about how to make the process work for you and for your patient. I'm going to talk about two systems that are the most commonly used ones, the Freestyle Libre system and the Dexcom CGMS. First, let's deal with a common myth that I see happen all the time. When a patient brings their device to a doctor's office and we connect it to our computer, a lot of us think that we are actually just downloading the information directly into our computer. This is not correct. What happens, and by the way, that's what takes a lot of time to download these devices or pumps or sensors, is that we're first uploading their results into the cloud and then downloading it from the cloud. The way it works is that the information on the patient's device has to be first uploaded to the cloud. What is the cloud? It is an archive, if you will, a very big computer system that has a lot of memory where you can upload and save the patient's information. Then you can retrieve it or download it from that cloud onto your computer system and view the information in this way. I'm going to talk about the basic principles for all of these devices, whether they be sensors, insulin pumps, or even if they make another device in the future that has some application for healthcare, all of them have the same principle. So if you know this, you know how all of them work. First of all, there is the cloud we talked about, and to connect to the cloud, there is a website that the company making the device will provide you with. To connect from the device to the cloud, you need a computer. So you upload the information from device to computer using the charger cord or a connection cord. From the computer, it uploads to that website and then to the cloud using a driver. What is a driver? It's a piece of software that acts as a translator, if you will, in between your computer and the cloud. Or a lot of times we see those same apps, same programs applied on a smartphone, and it's getting more and more used. And in the future, that is the wave of the future, is going to happen more and more on smartphones and less on computers. But on the smartphone, you would be able to download an app that uploads your information to the cloud. In clinic, when you're trying to get that information, you download it onto your computer, and then you get it from the computer in the form of a PDF report for you to see. I understand that this is a lot of information, but again, if you understand the principle, then you can apply it to all devices. Now let's talk about specific devices. First, let's talk about the Freestyle Libre CTMS, very common and very famous now. This is how it looks like. The sensor is that circle in the middle, and basically the patient puts it on their arm or on their shoulder, and it stays there for 2 weeks. It's recording the blood sugar all the time, but in order for the patient to view the results, they have to scan that sensor by either a device, which is the black box you see on the right side, or by an app on their smartphone, which is what you see on the left-hand side. Here is the device, here is the sensor that is on their shoulder, and it stays put for 2 weeks, as I said. And here is the receiver, or basically that black box that acts as the piece of equipment that shows you what the number is. On the right side, you see the charger cord, basically that yellow cord that connects the device or the receiver to the electricity. It has a USB port, as you can see on the right side of this slide, and that USB port can connect the device to your laptop or desktop computer for you to upload the results as a patient to the cloud. Also, it can come in the form of an app. In this case, it's called the Libre Link app, which you have to download onto your smartphone and then use that to generate a report or to view your results. So for the Libre, the connection goes in this way. And again, it follows the same principles that we talked about in the beginning. First, there is the cloud storage, and the connection to it is from the libreview.com site. Then you have the receiver, which is the black box you have that you can upload onto the computer using the charger cord. From the computer, you will always need some form of a driver to get it to the libreview.com, and you can use also the iPhone, has to be 7 or higher. By the way, if you get older generations than iPhone 6 or the iPhone 6 itself, that cannot manage the app, if you will, but iPhone 7 or higher is able to manage that Freestyle Libre Link app, and then you can upload the results to the cloud. In the clinic, once the results are uploaded and you have the patient in your roster of patients, you can download the results to your computer and generate a report. So to put it in specific steps, as a patient, what do you need to do to get those results stored and shared? You first have to create an account on libreview.com. Then, if you have a receiver, which is the black box, upload it using the charger cord. If you have an iPhone, download the Libre Link app and use that to generate the report. You have to accept the email invitation from your doctor's office to share the results. If you run into issues, here's the number that you need to call, but you have to have either the receiver with the charger cord or the iPhone ready when you call so that they can guide you through the steps. Very important to note that if you skip one of those steps, then everything else doesn't work. So for example, in clinic, if you are trying to get the results from a patient and the patient has not created an account on libreview.com, which is the very first step, you cannot get the results because they are not linked. If they created the results, which is step one, the account, which is step one, but they have not uploaded the results from the receiver to the computer, again, you cannot connect with them, you cannot see their report. If a person has an iPhone, but they haven't downloaded the Libre Link app, again, they cannot use that to share the report, and so on. Now let's talk about the Dexcom glucose sensor. Here is how the sensor looks like, and as the generations of the Dexcom increase and become more and more sophisticated, the sensor becomes smaller and smaller in size. What you see in this picture is actually the Dexcom sensor from the G4, which is an older generation. They came up after that with the G5, and now we have the G6, and I'm sure they will come up with other sensors that are smaller in size. The Dexcom G5 has a receiver that again looks like a black box, and the same way to upload it on a desktop or laptop computer, which is the charger cord. It's the cord that you use to charge it, to connect it to the electricity. It has a USB cord, as you can see on the left-hand side, and that USB port is used to upload the results from that black box into the computer of the patient. Now, you can have also the app as a smartphone application on an iPhone 7 or higher, and it shows the report, and you can use that to share all the results with the doctor. So again, let's talk about the connections and how they work in the case of Dexcom. It follows the same pattern. You have this Clarity Dexcom, which is the gateway, if you will, to the cloud storage. You have the receiver, the black box. You have to upload it to the computer as a patient, and you use for that the charger cord. From the computer, you guessed it, if you said that you need a driver, and then if you have an iPhone 7 or higher, you need to use the app, which is the Dexcom Clarity app, to upload the results and be able to share them. In clinic, we do the reverse process, which is that we download from Clarity Dexcom to the computer and generate a report with a PDF. Notice something very important here, which is that the app that is used on the smartphone for viewing and sharing and getting those results to the doctor is different from the regular app that is used to just check the blood sugar. The app that is used to check the blood sugar is called Dexcom G6, but the one that you use in order to share the report is the Dexcom Clarity. And that is why a lot of people get mixed up in that step, because they have the app that is used to see the result, but they don't have the Clarity app, which is used to share it, and therefore they are unable to share the results with their doctor. So again, to put it in steps, first thing that you need to do is to create an account. And then if you have a receiver, you upload it using the charger cord USB. If you have an iPhone, you download the Clarity app and you use it to share the results. And you can use a share code, which is unique to each clinic, to share with your doctor. Again, if you run into issues, it's the same thing. You call a number and you ask for tech support, but you have to have everything ready. Now, here comes the part where we try to simplify in very simple ways for patients, so that if you are confused by any of the previous steps, I'll tell you what you need to do, what you need to know, what you need to have ready for the tech support to guide you through the steps and let you use your device or use your smartphone in order to share the results. First of all, the glucose sensor systems mean no finger stick. Great thing. That makes you happy. That makes you know your blood sugar results, but you cannot share them with your doctor unless you are able to use the technology in order to share the results with your doctor so that he can act on these results and change your treatment and help you. How do you do that? You need the tech support to guide you through the steps. But in order for the tech support to help you through the steps, you have to have everything ready. You need to be ready when you call, which means that there are certain items that you need to have available before you place that call. And here are the items: a computer, the black box that shows your readings, and the cord you use to plug that thing into the electrical outlet, or an iPhone 7 or higher. For Libre, this is the number to call. Choose option 1. They will take care of the rest. For Dexcom, you call the company at this number and choose option 2. They will take care of the rest. I hope that makes it very simple and straightforward. And if you have questions, please put them in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and have a great day.